Once upon a time, lived a man named Benz. Benz wasn't like other villagers who tended farms or wove cloth. Benz was a butcher. Every day, he woke up to the sounds of mooing cows and clucking chickens, a sound most villagers found peaceful, but Benz found necessary for his trade. Benz wasn't a kind man. He took pleasure in the fear that flickered in the eyes of animals he was about to slaughter. He'd often make the wait longer, relishing their terror. The villagers whispered about him, but fear kept them silent. One day, a traveling monk arrived at the village. He was a gentle soul named Sanjaya, with eyes that held the wisdom of the ages. Sanjaya stayed at the village temple, and the villagers, eager for his teachings, gathered around him every evening. One evening, the topic turned to suffering. Sanjaya spoke softly, "All living things feel pain. Just as we avoid getting hurt, so do animals." A young girl piped up, "Butcher Benz doesn't care. He hurts animals all the time." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Sanjaya listened patiently. "Benz may not care now," he said, "but all actions have consequences, good or bad. This is called karma." The villagers were curious. Sanjaya explained that kind deeds brought happiness, while cruel deeds brought suffering. The villagers looked at each other, some nodding in understanding, others looking skeptical. Benz, who had been eavesdropping from a distance, scoffed. "Karma? Rubbish." He continued his cruel ways, finding a twisted satisfaction in the animal's pain. Then, one day, Benz fell ill. A strange fever gripped him, his body racked with pain. He couldn't even stand, let alone go to the market. The villagers, initially hesitant, helped his family with food and chores. But Benz's illness worsened. He started muttering and thrashing, his screams echoing through the village. He sounded strangely animalistic. The villagers, remembering Sanjaya's words, exchanged worried glances. The wise monk, who was still in the village, visited Benz. He saw the fear in the butcher's eyes, a fear he'd never seen before. Sanjaya spoke gently, "Benz, your actions have consequences. You caused pain, now you suffer." Benz, weak and feverish, could only whimper. The villagers, gathered outside, listened with bated breath. Sanjaya continued, "There's still time to change your path. If you recover, treat all living things with kindness. It might not erase the past, but it can lead to a better future." Benz, with a flicker of hope, nodded faintly. He fought his illness with newfound resolve. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, Benz began to recover. He was weak, but the fever had broken. Leaving the sickbed, Benz was a changed man. He looked at the animals in his yard with newfound respect. He started helping the villagers tend their farms, his rough hands surprisingly gentle with the animals. The villagers, initially wary, were surprised by Ben's transformation. They offered him a chance to earn a living by helping with farm chores. Benz, grateful for their kindness, accepted with a smile. Years passed. Benz, the once feared butcher, became known as Benz the Kind. He never forgot his past, but his kindness brought him peace and acceptance from the villagers. He even became friends with Sanjaya, who returned to the village from time to time. One day, Sanjaya sat with Benz under the shade of a banyan tree. "Benz," Sanjaya said, "your story reminds everyone that karma is real. Good deeds bring happiness, bad deeds bring suffering. But it's never too late to change your path." Benz smiled, the setting sun painting his face with a golden glow. "Thank you, Sanjaya," he said. "Thanks to you, I found peace and learned that kindness is the true path to happiness." The story of Benz, the cruel butcher turned kind, became a legend in the village. It served as a constant reminder that our actions have consequences, and that kindness is always the better choice.